Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to 90 Day Fiancé latest news. In a world where love is broadcast and treachery becomes binge-worthy, certain stories are never meant to be told, until they can't be concealed anymore. Warne and Elise Benson are the main characters in this story. Two names that people use to whisper about with interest, judgment, and guesswork. Two hearts broken by fame, not by cameras, but by something more quieter and more real. Warne was no longer a mystery when the credits rolled on 90 Day Fiancé. Happily ever after. He was an ex. To some, a bad guy. To some, a wounded soul. He had loved Sophie Sierra in front of everyone. And when that relationship fell apart because of doubts, cultural differences, and long-buried resentments, it didn't just end, it broke. There was no closure in the last moments of their relationship, just stillness. Rob stepped off camera with a lot of defenses in his head, and a lot of junk in his heart. He was done talking about himself. Finished performing. But he wasn't done hurting yet. He left the public eye, not in a scandal but in silence. And in another part of the country, another stillness was starting to happen. Elise Benson, who used to be the hopeful heart of 90 Day Hunt for Love, had left her own path of tears. She thought she might find love on reality TV like treasure if she looked hard enough, stayed open, and gave enough. But what she found instead was a lie. She left the show with mascara running down her cheeks, and a pain that cameras could never quite depict. She also stopped talking. They weren't trying to find each other. They wanted peace. But sometimes, the last place you expect to find calm is in someone else's sadness. In a scar on someone else. They met at a private industry mixer. It was supposed to be short. No name. One night of fake grins and courteous handshakes to make the network seem good. Elise had turned down the invitation twice. She didn't want to see people she knew, or worse, mistakes she had made before. But a producer told her, "You might meet someone who understands," and she believed him. When she got there, Rob was in the corner. On your own. Hunched. The same hooded look he always had when things became too noisy. He saw her. She saw him. And they both turned aside. Rob, the secretive, manipulative one, has heard their names before. Elise, the dreamer with a shattered heart who trusts too easily. They knew what was going on. The clips. The memes. They had just enough information to make guesses. And that's what they did for most of the night. But then someone said that life after reality TV might be lonely. The strange quiet that comes when the show concludes. No one contacting, texting, or editing your life into a story. First, Rob talked. It's like millions of people watch you for months. Then you're back at your apartment, and no one knows you're still alive. You stop believing in mirrors after a while, Elise said. They don't show you who you were on TV. But they don't show you who you are now either. They looked at each other. And for the first time, they saw something they knew in one other. Not fame, not a dream, but tired. That night, they didn't fall in love. But they did start to fall for each other. It all started with texts. Long and careful ones. The sort that don't mean to impress, but only to say, "I see you." They traded music. Poems. Voice notes with no makeup, no filters, and no stress. They didn't say anything. Not because they were ashamed, but because they didn't want to hear what the world thought this time. They wanted something that was theirs. Something holy. They headed to Flagstaff for a weekend retreat together. There are 2 rooms. No expectations. They drank chocolate on the terrace and watched the snow fall in the quiet. One night, Rob fell asleep next to her, not in her bed but on the floor next to it, with her dog. They didn't kiss. Not yet. But something opened up between them. A trust that neither had felt in a long time. Rob didn't hurry. He didn't get in by being charming. He came. He paid attention. He said he was sorry for things that weren't his fault, merely to make Elise feel less alone. Elise didn't ask him questions. She didn't put him to the test. She was kind. Space to make a mess. Room to breathe. It wasn't romantic yet. There was more to it. It was a safe place. But in the age of reality TV, not many people can afford to keep their privacy. The rumors started as whispers. There was a coffee mug in Elise's story, and it was the identical one that was in Rob's kitchen a few days later. A dog that showed up on both of their feeds. A sunset scene from 2 different viewpoints that are the same. The hints were small, but the fans were sharp. People on Reddit started looking at things. People on TikTok made timelines. Every emoji, shadow, and plant in the background may be a smoking gun. And then, one afternoon in Austin, Texas, the truth came out in a long-lens photo. They had just left a tavern that served alcohol. Rob had a hoodie on that was pulled down. Elise looked down, but their hands were stuck together. The picture was hazy, but the love was clear. It wasn't planned. It wasn't for advertising. It was true. And the world went crazy. There were two sides to the fans. Some people said they felt betrayed. Some people murmured about fate. People said that Elise was naive and that she was being manipulated. People said Rob was manipulating things again. Some people said it was a PR trick. Some people called it redemption. They didn't say anything. They didn't have to explain themselves to anyone. But those who didn't know them gave them anyhow. From old partners. From editors of old stories who want to bring drama back to life. Sophie Sierra released a strange loop with her eyes on the water, not blinking. The sound was soft, but the meaning was loud. The comment section went crazy. Still, Rob and Elise stayed quiet. Until they stopped. Elise was the first to speak up. Her post on Instagram was real. No glitz. Don't pose. Just a carousel of times. Rob brushed her hair while she read. Rob is baking pancakes while wearing socks. Rob was sleeping on her lap with her dog curled up next to him. Her caption said, "I didn't expect this." Thankful anyway. She didn't put a tag on him. She didn't have to. A day later, Rob uploaded a picture of the two of them under a blanket with sunlight coming in through the window. He seemed exhausted. But stay calm. Grounded. His words, not perfect. Not planned, but true. And in those words, the globe felt something different. Not a scandal. Not a show. But it's true. The backlash started to calm down. People become softer. The same supporters who used to want answers now showed kindness. Because of all the fake love and TikTok breakups in this nasty, fame-stained world, Rob and Elise had done something amazing. They loved each other without needing to be seen. Not long after, they moved to Sedona. There isn't a major announcement. No post about real estate. A picture of a meandering canyon trail with a note from Elise that said, "Finally breathing." They go to the farmer's market to buy things. They go hiking with Ruckus. They compose each other playlists and tape them to the fridge like middle school kids do when they like someone. They don't make money out of their connection. There isn't a couple podcast. Not a clickbait video for engagement. Just the gentle hum of two individuals who learned to love when no one else was watching. And maybe that's the most extreme love story of all. Rob Warne and Elise Benson didn't fall in love on television. After that, they discovered each other. In the ruins. In the stillness. In the portions of themselves that were never shown on TV. To her, he wasn't a bad guy. To him, she wasn't a fool. They were just two people who had been hurt and were learning how to be whole together. This article will still be around when the news stops, the algorithms move on, and the world forgets. Not because it was surprising, not because it was exciting, but it was real. And in the end, after all the hubbub, reality TV didn't kill them. It brought them together. This gossip is over. If you liked the video, then give your opinion in the comment box and stay with us by subscribing the channel. Thank you.